Hey there, my name is John Suscovich with Farm Marketing Solutions and my little farm brewery over in the distance here. I got a question yesterday from Chris Mills that asked about can you raise a chicken without buying feed? Today we're going to go over Will Lopez Wagner's question with how do you reduce feed costs? Chicken on pasture surely helps, but it's only so much of their diet. They need sustenance from somewhere else. Do you do store-bought grain or have other means of adding nutrition? Now, I have a bunch of stuff here. When you're raising chickens for meat or for eggs, you want the proper food at the proper time. When they're chicks, they need a certain amount of food, a certain amount of protein in their diet. If they're a certain breed and a certain age, they're gonna want a certain amount of protein, and that feed will change over time through the period of their life. So having the right feed at the right time with the proper protein amounts that are suited for your goals is going to make a huge difference on your feed conversion ratio, where you're getting the right amount of feed eaten by the bird converted into protein that you're going to eat or sell yourself. So I'm going to save all the charts on that because it can be specific and region specific, and just plug Fertrell, the Fertrell company, Fertrell. Sorry if I spelled that wrong, but I'll link it in the notes for this video. Jeff Maddox runs the company, has a wealth of knowledge, and the people there are amazing, and they will work with you to make a custom broiler ration if you're looking for added productivity out of your birds. Another way to reduce your feed costs overall is to feed your birds free choice grit all the time. Right size grit for the right size chicken. Giving them sand in the beginning, giving them crushed up marble, that grit in their gizzard will help them more efficiently process feed, which will make it easier for them to digest, which means they require less of it because they're not continually just eating poop and passing it through. They're digesting more of what you're feeding them. They're getting more of the nutrients out of it, they're growing better, and your feed costs are gonna go down by adding free choice grit into your diet. So if you think that your birds are on pasture and they have access to the ground and they're gonna get rocks and grit, the appropriately sized grit that way, go out onto your pasture and stick your face in the dirt. I've done this, which is why I'm recommending it. Face, dirt, face. Stick your face in the dirt and needle around with your fingers and see just how many stones of the right size for your birds are there and are accessible and on the top layer of dirt the birds are going to get to. The answer is not enough. Adding grit into their diet with a free choice grit feeder will help you reduce your feed costs as well. Storing your feed properly so it doesn't develop mycotoxins, which are small microscopic fungus, which as small as 2 parts per million can prohibit protein uptake in the bird's small intestine. And if you have that fungus, which you won't be able to see, the birds know, but you don't know, you can get it tested in a lab, but anywhere from 2 to 8 parts per million can be not toxic for a bird in the sense it's gonna kill it, but it's not gonna grow right. It's gonna have a reduced grow rate. Your feed costs are gonna go up because you're gonna have to feed out more to get the smaller bird. And you can send those out to labs to get those tested to make sure that there's no mycotoxins in your feed. Storing feed properly, cool, dry place where it's not overheating, it's not damp and wet, there's no access for rodents, so we're gonna go over that in a future video at the end of this week on where I store feed. But this is a quick thing on like, store your feed properly and you'll get better feed conversion ratio and your feed costs will go down. Feed grit, feed the right feed at the right time, and then shop around and work with feed mills. Buy in bulk, get a bulk bin to bring your feed costs down. There's a lot of different creative ways that as you get into this, you'll start to discover, like you'll attack 2 year 1, and then you'll be like, oh, I can totally approach methods 3 and 4, and then on year 3 or 3 and beyond, you're like, all right, now I'm growing at a scale where I can buy a bulk bin, I can order my grain in bulk, I can mix my own stuff, I'm working with the guy down the road. The thing that I love about farmers, and the thing I love about you watching this video, is that you're an inherently crafty person. Male, female, it doesn't matter. You're either a farmer or want to be a farmer, and if you're gonna do that, it takes a lot of ingenuity, a lot of craftiness, a lot of thinking things through. the margins are slim and we work on a game of pennies, but our value is derived in other ways where we live the way we want to, our lives are purposeful. And in order to do that, we have to make it work financially. In order to make it work financially, we have to be better farmers. We have to be good and professional at what we do. We have to know all these granular little details. And you can do that by joining organizations like APPA for chickens, because this is a chicken video. It's appa.org, APPPA.org is the American Pastured Poultry Producers Association. And I have I want to give credit to a lot of my knowledge from the awesome people that are there, that I have all these questions because I raise chickens and then I memorize this stuff because I utilize it in the field. But I gain a lot of that information by working with the other professionals in that organization. Bam! This is a solid plug. I get nothing for plugging them, by the way. I just love it and I want to support the organization. We have a question tomorrow from Matt Dalgetty. Matt Dalgetty. He's talking about chicken prices. So tomorrow we're gonna talk about how I get $6 per pound, because it is not possible in his area, and I totally understand that. So we're gonna go over Matt's question on Wednesday. Go back in time and listen to Christopher's question on Monday if you missed it. And until next time, have an awesome day, and I will see you out in the field.